up, everybody? Welcome back to the basement. Adam's back from hunting midgets in Ohio. Steve is still not here, but we're getting there. We've almost got our cast back. First out this week has been Green Lantern Corps 36. Hell still going on Oa. All the science cells.
This was good. It wasn't great. It was good.
No,
it was, you know,
the whole Sinestro and his
yeah, you
just took up way too many pages.
Yeah, and the whole "I am your real father" bullshit.
Yeah.
Not so good. The riot scenes were pretty dope.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good shit.
And the fact that one Red Lantern's doing that much fucking damage is
Is he just tearing this dude in half?
Yeah, he's basically just completely.
Who are these little fucks? Speaking of midgets,
those are the children of the White Lotus. They were shown in the Sinestro War. They are basically little baby bombs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
You want to explain to me what the hell happens at the end here? Sonam Yat takes on Mongol.
No,
which is
not entirely clear.
And then he flies into the sun. To like, is he turning it yellow because that's how he gets?
I don't know. I kind of thought that was what he was doing.
Yeah,
it really wasn't clear. This was a good issue as usual. Pete Tomasi is doing a really good job writing the story. This was a little bit unclear towards the end. Like I don't know why he did that.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out in 37.
Which I will say this. I like the fact that old bleeding eye fucking Scar, whatever the fuck, the little tiny round-headed creature that reminds me all too much of my mother-in-law, is finally being shown to be like actively be a bad guy, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, interfering with the Iron Force.
Yeah, I kind of like that. You know, once again, this is all building towards Blackest Night, which is the only crossover worth
that any of us are looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, at this point. If you can't get enthused over that, just kill yourself.
Anybody notice that Mongol sewed his arm back on?
Yeah, he stitched it up. Yeah.
God bless knitting needles. The only other good book out of DC,
Book of the Week.
Secret
Book of the Week.
So, was like Catman wanting to be Batman in this?
That's the running joke.
That's the running
whole fucking.
Catman wants to be Batman, supposedly.
Was that because like when Catman and Batman fought, and like was he jealous over how much farting Batman did? I hated that fucking issue.
And let me just tell you something.
Bane wants to be Batman too.
Bane wants to be Batman.
And Ragdoll wants to be Robin.
It's good.
I want to be Batman.
I want to be an astronaut. Go fuck yourself.
All right.
The fact of the matter is, this issue was actually really good.
It's a well-drawn cover. Let me take a look for this while you guys talk about it.
Listen, Gail Simone still writes some of the best banter.
Gail, I love
fucking fine. Ramon would do probably things to you that are only legal in Cambodia. That's acceptable if you're cool. But I would say this: excellent goddamn conversation. The banter all comes across really naturally.
It's not talking like Bendis' shit.
I love how she manages to make Catman both lame and cool at the same fucking time. Like, he's obviously a fucking dork. He has a Catmobile, for fuck's sake. But he's also a bad motherfucker. Like, it adds up.
It's a great book full of deep characters.
Ragman in the Robin costume.
Ragdoll.
It looks sick. It's like, ew.
Yeah, no. Once again, this is a book that's firing on all cylinders. While the rest of the fucking DC universe is completely fucking unraveling and stupid, this one manages to take all those flaws and really leverage them. If you're not reading Secret Six, go fuck yourself 2 times, corner of the cob.
You know why I think it really works is because it's just contained within its own universe. This is the first time I've seen it like really relate to the rest of the DCU.
It references the DC universe without relying on it. And that's a big fucking difference, and it's still really fucking good at it. By the way, speaking of DC, maybe you noticed in an ad in there. There's this thing called Final Crisis that they're advertising 4 spin-off books from. Have you heard anything about this?
Aftermath, some books, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though technically it's not over because it's still a legion of 3 crises and I don't know.
What? Who?
I can actually hear his brain stopping.
Yeah, it's good.
Who asked for these 4 books to come out? Did somebody sit back and say, hey, you know what would be really great? Let's take a C-list character from a crossover nobody really understands, and let's make a book about him. Yeah. I think people will pay $4 for that, considering that they can't afford groceries.
They've seen how they've dropped the ball so much, because as we will talk about in a minute, Dark Reign has all these little side mini-series that are great.
But it's working for them.
But it's working, unlike DC.
For now.
Fucking...
Well, no, let me take that back. Most of it's working. Most of it's working.
And I was going to say, speaking of the spin-offs from Dark Reign, what do we got here from Marvel?
Hawkeye, the miniseries continues. Issue 205, Bullseye flips his lid.
You know what? I didn't think I was going to give a shit about this. I've never been a big Bullseye fan.
Really? That strikes me as odd.
You know what? Because they overused him in Daredevil. They really just overused him. And then they did that.
It's a great shot of the arrow going into this dude's eye. Right through the lens of the camera.
Tom Rainey draws this. Tom Rainey, for anybody out there who gives a fuck, used to draw all the Stormwatch books. He's one of those artists who really really good, stylized artist who just doesn't get enough fucking work. But he draws the Bullseye Hawkeye guy as an absolute fucking raging psycho, and it's great.
With a silly grin constantly in his face.
Yeah.
All the time.
He's having fun.
He basically kills things. Big things, little things, things that don't move, things that do move. Puppies are not safe.
And Norman's cool with it.
Yeah, very, apparently. But here's the thing that I think is interesting. Aside from the B plot, where, you know, someone is obviously helping a reporter try to unravel all this shit, I'll say the one thing I think is a little bit flawed is clearly the writer, Andy Diddle, was British. He's trying to tap into the whole, yeah, I know, you didn't win in the naming convention. You know, he's tapping into that whole thing about, you know, like Patriot Act and, like, you know, spoiler alert, you know, the agents of Hammer kick down the door and say, national security, we have to shut this whole thing down, and then take prisoners and all this other shit. 3 years ago that would have worked, 2 years even. Now it just feels hackneyed.
You know what, I just want to say, like, I would recommend this book if you're a Bullseye fan and you just want to watch some fun stuff of him killing people in the most creative ways.
Yes, that's fun.
That's the reason I get this book.
You know, as far as books that try to do that aren't fun, I would venture to say Wolverine this week kind of takes the cake on that one.
Oh, I got to dig for that one. Hold on a second.
I'm still trying to figure this out. They put out 73. Everyone is waiting on Old Man Logan to wrap up.
I mean, we don't know where this story fits into continuity, and at this point, I don't care. I'm just kind of enjoying the story. I want to see where it goes.
But
I hope it doesn't fit into continuity.
This was pretty limp. I mean, I didn't feel good about this.
Wolverine came out with 2 covers, regular cover and the Marvel Anniversary cover, which is actually really nice. I don't know.
Aaron did it.
It's basically useless.
Totally.
It pulled an Iron Fist and just threw some shit into,
you know,
in the middle of a storyline.
That tends to work with Iron Fist.
Yes.
Because it's a story built off of, you know, like the character's history.
Right, this just totally took a fucking
left
U-turn. Yeah. And we now have another story that isn't even finished. This isn't a one-shot. And Old Man Logan's on hold, and now we've got this bullshit to deal with.
All I gotta say is, I hope Mark Millar has like a spastic colon or something that held him up, because it's not like he's putting a bunch of books out on the fucking market right now.
It could be the artist.
Could be the artist, but
artwork he was doing in there.
All I know is that Mark Millar books are sort of notoriously slow and shit. You know what I mean? I'm still shocked that Kick-Ass is where it is.
Kick-Ass is still only up to like issue 6, and I didn't even buy the last one.
Well, you don't have to. By the time they're finished with the miniseries, the movie will come and go on a bit on Blu-ray. Like, there's no fucking point.
Kick-Ass just don't kick ass for me anymore.
Not so fucking much. What else we got over here?
I picked up this Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos one-shot, just because...
Artwork wasn't bad. The story didn't do anything for me. I'm a little burnt on World War II.
You know, going after the Nazis back during World War II.
I'm sick and tired of World War II, Nazis, especially
I mean, I get it, Well, there aren't so many of us in this book, except the one here that's fucking your mother. I think that's on page 32. But otherwise, the artwork is good. I'd recommend that if you want to pick it up. But otherwise, it's really not worth it. The artwork's really, really good stuff. I don't know who the fucking writer is. Jesse Alexander. I think he was on Kramer. But that's about it.
No idea.
If you want,
but in the same vein as Howling Commandos,
the Howling Commandos are in this book themselves.
And this is a really good fucking book, actually. I thought this was a good departure from last issue.
I don't read this book, so I'm going to toss a look through it.
All right, listen. Basically, all you got to know is this is Nick Fury basically gathering together a couple of teams of badasses. None of these teams know about the other team. This book has a lot of potential if they don't fuck it up. Basically, Nick Fury is organizing his old team of Howling Commandos, but he's also got a team of like young Z-list characters that he organized during...
Children of Heroes and shit,
They actually make a... nerd alert. Here's a fucking reference. For some of you who back in the day might remember, the X-Men used to have an Aboriginal teleporter sidekick named Gateway.
Who is the great-great-great-grandfather of Bishop, by the way? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did not know that. See, look at that. Look at that.
Geek Synergy. The Bishop?
Yeah. To it. War of Kings, Ascension. Can't decide if I really like those.
Right. Again, Dark Hawk is being...
They're trying to upgrade him.
Yeah, why?
This is going to end with... What's Dark Hawk's name again? I can't...
Woody Cockbag. Who knows? The fact of the matter is...
This is going to end with him gaining total control over the armor, which apparently can do everything.
Yeah.
And
it's like a fucking Gundam.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
Like, they're clearly rewriting this to be...
it's only 4 issues long. That's how it's going to culminate.
But it's so transparent. You know what I mean? Like, they said in advance they want to make Dark Hawk as good as Nova. Nova shit was a little more organic than this. Dark Hawk, basically, you want to hear how they get rid of all his continuity? I'll tell you, this is not a spoiler alert. This is just sort of really bad shortcut writing